a case where a worker was part of a large construction project here in the city of New York where a contractor was hired by Con Edison as part of a large project. They were doing the streets on the Upper West Side, and whenever you dig up the streets, of course, there's a lot of infrastructure under there, and part of that infrastructure is Con Edison. Now, Con Edison didn't have Con Edison workers. They actually hired a contractor, and my client was a worker for one of these contractors. And what happened was Con Ed had these trucks, and in the back of the trucks were conduits, these large plastic tubes that Con Ed's equipment was going to go in. And these tubes were wrapped in plastic. And my client was hired by this contractor. He shows up at work at 7 o'clock in the morning to unload these tubes from the back of a truck. And as he's unloading the tubes from the back of the truck, what he doesn't know is underneath the plastic, because the trucks were kept out overnight, was ice. And when you put plastic on top of ice, it's a very slippery substance. So as he's taking out these conduit tubes from the back of the truck, he slips on the plastic over the ice and he falls out of the back and he gets seriously injured. And he wasn't able to return to work. So first of all, Con Edison said it's his fault. They said he was the one unloading and he should have been aware of the surface that he was working on. And he was the one that unwrapped the tubes and put the plastic on top of the back of the truck. And they said his only recovery could be from workers' compensation. And in fact, workers' compensation was paying his medical bills and his 2/3 of his loss of earnings. But we brought a third-party action, which wasn't part of the insurance company from his employer, against Con Edison, saying that they left the trucks out overnight and it was their fault for having a hidden dangerous condition. And there was actually motion practice where Con Ed moved for summary judgment, trying to get the case thrown out as a matter of law. And we opposed that motion, and we were successful in arguing the case on the law, creating case law. And as a result, right before the case was about to go to trial, they came to us with a settlement offer and the case settled.